Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Make It Up with Midnight with me, Street Artist Midnight. So today is the World Ocean Day for Schools special. I'd like to welcome everybody who's involved. I hope you've had a really good day so far, learning and interacting and just generally finding out about our ocean connection. So for this episode, we're going to be making our own underwater ocean scene. I've got a little one of mine set up already, as you can see. For this episode, we're going to be needing a plastic bottle. Any size will do. It can be large or small, whatever you can get your hands on really. A plastic bag, again, it can be any size plastic bag, any color plastic bag, it doesn't matter as long as it's a plastic bag. Preferably one that's already been used, so we're recycling it. Some corrugated cardboard, a Pritt stick, some string, a pair of scissors, and some paint. Once we've got that, we're going to be ready to get going. Okay guys, part one. What we want to do is we want to take our plastic bottles, we want to take the label off, make sure they're clean, take the lid off, and make sure that we've just got our plastic bottle. The first thing we're going to do is we want to cut this bottle in half. So you may need an adult or teacher's help for this, because it can be quite tricky, and we're going to be using the scissors to cut this in half. So be careful, watch out, because scissors are sharp. So what I like to do is I like to squeeze the bottle a little bit, so then you can kind of get your scissors on there and you can make a cut, so your first incision. Then we slide our scissors into the bottle and then we cut round, just being very careful to cut as straight as we possibly can. Cutting all the way round. As you can see, I'm cutting all the way around the bottle until we get to the other side where we started, and then we cut that bit there. Now we have two halves of our bottle. We're starting with this one. We can save this one because you can make another one of our underwater octopus jellyfish using this. So save that for later because you can always use it again. Next, we've got our top of our bottle ready to go. We want to make some incisions all the way around the bottom of our bottle so that we can pop our bits of plastic bag in to make the tentacles. The slits will hold the plastic bag in place and help them dangle and flow. We want to do 6 around the bottle. So we start at one point, we're going to start here and we're going to cut up about 1 centimetre high. So if you measure it, it's about the width of your thumb up. From around there, we're going to do 6 more incisions. So we turn it a little bit, make incision, 1, 2, make another incision turning slightly. We're going to turn a bit more, make another incision, and again. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, 6. So we've got 6 incisions around the path of our plastic bottle. That's our stage 1 complete. Okay guys, time for part 2. So we're going to take our plastic bottle, we're going to pop that in front of us so that we can get back to it afterwards. Next, we're going to be making the eyes to go onto our plastic bottle. So we want to take a piece of corrugated cardboard, a fairly small piece like this, and we're going to paint it white. So we're going to take another piece of corrugated cardboard, and this is going to be our artist palette. So we're going to take some of our white paint, pop a bit of that on there, just a little blob. We don't want to take too much out there because we don't want to waste any. Also, the less you take, the less you make. We're going to take a paintbrush and we're going to start painting our bit of corrugated cardboard a nice white. So we want to get a good coverage on our piece of corrugated cardboard so that we can get all over it, so that we have some nice white eyes. So once you've painted all of that up, giving it a good coat of white so that we have a nice solid coat, finishing up on the bottom here. Try to be as careful as possible, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. As long as we've got a nice mat and we're not making too much mess or getting paint everywhere. Plus, a bit of paint on your hands is a good sign that you've been creative. Once you've painted it, pop it to one side, just to let it dry. and pop these to the side as well, and we'll wash those up later. What you're going to end up with is a nice white piece of corrugated cardboard. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our eyes on. So we take a pencil or pen and we're going to draw some nice big circles on it. Now you can draw your circles freehand, or if it's easier, you can use a bottle lid as a guide. So you place your bottle lid down on the paper like so, and then you simply take your pen and draw around it. Once you've drawn around your first eye, it should look like this. Then we're going to repeat that for the second eye, because we always have two eyes, and we draw around the big circle again, so it looks like that. So now we've got two eyes, we can pop our cap to the side. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in the details of our eyes. So we can take a thicker pen, and then we're going to draw on some details. So we want our eyes to be really big and bold. So we're going to do a nice, big, thick black outline. Doesn't matter if we stick to the circle too much, because we want them to be quite free and expressive. If you've got a little bit of a wobbly hand or struggle staying inside the lines, that's okay too, because being creative is all about having a bit of fun and doing your own thing. And at the end of the day, you do what you want to do because it's your creation. Then we do a nice big black circle in the middle, like so. We do some little bit, like a little white part at the top, so that it looks a bit like the shining white eye. And there we have a nice big eye. So we're going to do that for the second eye. I'm just going to quickly draw it now. So again, doing a nice big thick outline. You might want to go around it twice or 3 times to get a good solid line. Again, this just adds a little bit of character to the eyes and makes them stand out. Then we do the eyeball in the middle, and now we end up with 2 nice big eyes, like that. Then we're going to let those dry and cut them out. So I'm just going to pop these to one side, pop my pen back in the pot, and then I've got some eyes I've drawn on earlier, and these ones are nice and dry. So we're going to carefully, as possible, cut them out. So taking our scissors, again, always be careful when handling scissors because they can be sharp and you don't want to injure yourself. So we're going to cut around our eyes, around the black part, being as careful as possible, but again, a little bit of wonkiness is nice because we're being creative. We trim all the way around the outside like so, being as careful as possible, and then we've got one of our eyes. So I'm going to do the same for the second eye, because we need to put both eyes on our octopus, jellyfish, underwater creature. So again, being as careful as possible, just trying to cut around the eye like so. We can keep this for something else because we might be able to use it in some more crafting, so I'm going to pop that to one side as well. So we've got our 2 eyes and they're ready to go. That's part 2. Okay guys, it's time for part 3. So we finished our eyes, we're going to pop them to the front with our plastic bottle bit ready to go. The next stage we're going to do is we're going to grab our plastic bags. I've got a little blue plastic bag here, whatever plastic bag you can get your hands on, it doesn't really matter, just as long as it's got a bit of flow and it'll move about in the wind. Then again, we're going to take our scissors, being careful, and we're going to cut the handle and then cut down the side of the plastic bag so that we create, so carefully cutting down the side of the bag like that, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So cut the handle and then we cut all the way down the side of the bag, cutting down. Again, it doesn't matter how straight this cut is because we want the tentacle to be wobbly and wonky, and then we have our big flat bag. Next, we want to trim this in half, so cut the bag directly in half down the middle. You can use the seam of the bag as a guide to help you cut as straight as possible, but again, it doesn't really matter how straight you cut. we take half the plastic bag and we can pop that to one side, because we can use that along with the bottom half of our bottle to make another one of our jellyfish octopus monsters. So, once we've got that, we can then start to make the tentacles. So, using our scissors again, we cut all the way down the full length of the bag in strips about as wide as 3 of your fingers. So, carefully cutting down along that line, and then you have one of your tentacles. So, we'll pop that there, and then we need to do that 6 more times because each of the slits will have a tentacle in it. We did 6 cuts around the bottle, which means we're going to have 6 tentacles. So, we cut down again, carefully as possible, 2, and then again, cutting down along. That's our 3rd tentacle. Now we've got our 4th tentacle. I mean, you kind of want them to be similar widths, but if you do cut one that is slightly thinner, that's not a problem, because it'll make it feel all natural and different. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one is 6. So now we've got our 6 tentacles. We can save this bit of bag in case anybody else needs it. Put that to one side. So, with our tentacles, what we have to do next is we have to tie a knot in the top of each one so that knot gets held in the slit of the bottle. So, what we do is we roll the top bit a little bit and we wrap it round our finger, and then we have a hole like so. And then we fold the top bit over through the hole and tie it. And that way we've got a nice little knot that will latch in there. What we want to do is we're going to do that for each of these ones. So again, twist the top, round your finger, make a hole, and pop that bit through. We do that for each one of the other ones, and then we're going to assemble it. So 5. And our last one, again, twist the top around your finger to make a loop, pop the top bit over and through and pull, and then you have your knot. So we've got our 6 tentacles, we've got our eyes, we've got our bottle top bit, and it looks like we're nearly ready to go. So that's that stage done. Brilliant. Guys, this is the last stage. We're going to bring all our pieces together to make our underwater octopus jellyfish creature. So, first things first, we want to put our tentacles into our bottle. So, you know where we put our little 6 slots? So we want to take each knot and put it inside the bottle, and then you push part of it down and slip it into the bottle so that the knot, if you can see, is on the inside of the bottle. Then we do that for all the other ones. We pop that one in as well. We push this one in there. It can be a little bit tricky, but if you need a bit of help, you can always ask an adult. We put the next one in, being careful because sometimes these bits on the edge of the bottle can be a bit sharp. So just be careful and don't rush, just take your time. We take our last one and slip that in there. And now our body with all our tentacles is complete. Look at that, it looks great already. So pop that down there and we're going to grab some Pritt stick. And with the Pritt stick, we're going to stick the back of the eyes onto the bottle so they're there. So we get a good bit of glue on the back of the eye. You want to get a good amount on because you really want it to stick. And then we're going to put it on the bottle here, like so. And then with the second eye, we're going to do the same thing. Good amount of Pritt stick all over the back because we want it to stick, like so. Pop the lid on the Pritt stick. You can always use PVA glue if you don't have a Pritt stick, but it takes a little bit longer to dry. So if you are using the Prick Stick or the PVA glue, make sure you leave some time to dry before hanging anyway. We popped our eyes on and it's looking brilliant. So that's our bit done. The next thing we need to do is we need to get a line of string with our scissors. So we take a bit of string, again being careful with the scissors, cut the short bit here, tie it around the top of the bottle, and again tying a knot like so, and then we tie a second knot. Again, if you do have trouble with knots, you can always ask an adult for help. Tie the second knot, and then he's ready to be hung up. And that's our little monster, underwater, octopus, jellyfish creature. I hope you've had fun making it, but don't stop there. You can use any kind of bottle, you can use any kind of plastic container, top or bottom, large or small, and you can use any plastic bag. I mean, this one, I've got a container, he's got some cool shades, he's ready to go to the beach. This one, I painted pink, and I used a pink bag to match. I drew some other eyes, and even a little mouth. This one over here, another standard one, but this one's got some boggly eyes. This one here, again, a stripy bag. I've given him some blue eyes, and even some eyebrows. This one's got purple spots. You can do whatever you want. Just be creative, have a bit of fun. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I really have. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Make It Up at Midnight. I hope you enjoyed it celebrating the rest of World Ocean Day for Schools. Thanks very much. Great. See ya.